Hey, what's going on everybody? Servo here. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to teach you and show you every single cooking recipe that is in Wishblossom Ranch. There are two that are currently bugged, but we'll go over those as we come across them. But other than that, they are good to go. These dishes look beautiful. You are going to have to get a variety of ingredients, a lot of different types of fishes, a lot of different like the berries, things like that. Make sure you go ahead, stockpile a lot of stuff. And if you guys need help or you're looking for a specific type of dish, I will have timestamps down below so you can just click on that, make it nice and easy for you. You can save this video or share. All the above definitely helps out the channel. So thank you guys so much for being here. If you guys would hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, I would appreciate you. And let's just jump right into it. Alrighty, so up first, we are going to go after the Alpine Fishcakes. To get that, you are going to need some dill. So dill is going to be under the spices. And we're just going to drop it in there. And then you also need the red Alpine bass. For this, you just need to go over to the fish. And it's going to be this one right here. Go ahead and throw them in there. Just those two. Start cooking. And we have the Alpine fish cake. Now, the dill can actually be harvested here in Wishing Alps. It's here in the starter area. And this fish is in the gold ripples here in the Wishing Alps as well. Up next, we're going to go after the Buttermilk Borscht. And for that, we're going to need beetroot. So go down to your vegetables. And we're going to get one of these. We also need dill again. So go back to spices, drop that one in there. And then we just need milk and eggs. So for that, they should be over here. Milk and eggs, you get those from Remy. Going to start cooking. Now this one is actually bugged a little bit. It's the Fizzy Nectar soda. So for this one, you need to go to the fruit. And you'll put the bonsai star fruit in there. Slush ice is all the way at the bottom in its own category. So just those two. And you end up getting something that we've already had. They will probably fix this very soon. But yeah, that one and one more is going to be bugged. So for now, just don't worry about that one. Unless you're watching this in the future, then hopefully you ended up getting it. The next recipe is very easy. It is the Rosehip Honey Tea. And you just need to go over here to like the sugar category, the sweets. And then put one honey coral in there. And then start cooking and you'll get it. The next dish is actually called the Scarlet Bouquet Salad. So you need to get one Scarlet Kale. It'll be over here in the vegetables section. Throw that in there, start cooking. And I already made this one as part of a quest, so you're good to go there. Up next is the smoked fish charcuterie spread. So for that, we just need to put 2 tuna in here. And then you could put a random fish. It doesn't really matter. I'm just going to put 1 rainbow trout in there. And then you're also going to need 1 wheat. Going to start cooking. And then you're going to end up getting it. It looks nice. A lot of these dishes look really beautiful. Now that is it for the appetizer. So now we're moving on to the entrees. Now for these, we are going to get into some of the later game resources. So one of them you're going to need is a dark chocolate coffee bean. So make sure you guys harvest that. But we are going to make the 101 teeny tiny Dalmatian cupcakes. For this one, you are going to need those dark chocolate coffee beans. You can actually find them here in the fruit category. So throw a bag of those in there. You also need wheat. And then we need some eggs. And then the last one is some sugar cane. So let's go down to the sweet category and throw one of these in here. Go ahead and start cooking. And then there you go. They sound better. They're a little low res right here. Hopefully they come back in here and touch them up. But they look nice besides them being kind of pixelated. I actually want to eat these. After that, we're going to make the afternoon tea set. So again, we're going to need some more of these dark chocolate coffee beans. You are going to grow those. And then down here in the wheat category, we're going to need some pearly barley. You also will grow this. You get these 2 items from Goofy's stall. And then you could put any vegetable in here. Doesn't matter. So we're just going to throw 1 asparagus in here. And then you need a pin cushion peach. So we need to go back to the fruit category. And let's see, I should have it right up here. Yep, here we go. Grab one of those, start cooking. And I already made this dish, but it's going to be a whole thing. You have to actually make this for a later game quest. So you'll probably have that already. Okay, so the next thing is kind of weird. It's called baked whitefish and roasted beets. And I think this one is currently bugged as well because it actually wants you to put red currants in here right now. And also the mountain whitefish. So if I put these 2 in here, be careful throwing this whitefish in here because sometimes it doesn't land properly. It wants us to do these 2 right here. You start cooking and it gives us the correct dish. But I think they're going to make this some changes to this because you would think it would be a beetroot, which we have beetroots. and then the mountain fish, because it's literally called a baked whitefish and roasted beets. So if you're watching this in the future, they could end up changing this to the correct version. But yeah, right now it's definitely the red currants. Moving on, we got the Beet-iful Spaetzle. And for this one, you need to go down to your vegetables. We're going to grab 1 beetroot. And then you're just going to need some eggs. And then you need some wheat. Just those 3 ingredients right here. Go ahead and start cooking. And this is what it looks like. This one doesn't look as appetizing to me. Next is the bread bowl pumpkin soup. Now this one is pretty interesting. It looks interesting too. So we need to go down to the fish category. You're going to need 1 tigerfish. These are legendary ripples over in Pixie Acres. These fish sell for a lot too. They're like 1,600, but throw one of those in the pot. And then you need 1 fairy kamut. You're going to get this at the end of the game. You get it from Goofy's stall as well. So you have to grow these. Throw that in the pot. And then we need a pumpkin and 1 milk. So let's just go ahead and throw the milk in here. Go back down to our vegetables. And let's see if we can find a pumpkin here. Here it is. Throw that in the pot. Start cooking. And we got the bread bowl pumpkin soup. This dish right here sells for like the most out of all of the DLC. That's because the tigerfish sells for a lot. The pumpkin sells for like 600. But this whole dish right here sells for like over 4,500 gold. So up next, this is another one that is bugged, and you may have encountered this earlier because the horses constantly want you to like feed it to them for their daily like favorite. But it is a 1 carrot, and then you want to go to the spice category and put a button mushroom. So this is supposed to be the button stew recipe, but it is currently broken. The developers are aware of it right now, so they may have it fixed in the future. So if I hit start cooking, it gives me a dish that we already have. It doesn't give me the correct one. So just know that one is bugged, but that should be the recipe. Now we're going to make Eton Mess. For this one, you're going to need the red currants. It is up here in the fruit category. Throw one of those in there. We also need the pin cushion peach. That should be here in the same category as well. Yeah, grab one of those, throw them in there. And then we just need 1 egg. All 3 of those together, and this is what it looks like. This one looks pretty good too. Next is the felted breakfast spread. For this one, we are going to need the button mushroom. So go back to your spice category, throw 1 button in there. These buttons do not want to land in the pot. All right, just one button mushroom. We also need 1 egg. So grab one of those, and then you need 1 fish, the satin fin beta fish right here. Go ahead and start cooking. And this is what it looks like. It looks like we got a little stitched egg. It looks like all the food is just made out of fabric. Even the bacon strips. I love that. Now the next dish is actually really beautiful, but it does require 5 ingredients, and some of them are later game ones. So the first ingredient that you're going to need is this measuring tape snail. There's some weird items in here. And then we got the jellied fish. Go ahead and throw that little guy in there. We need a crab in here. Let's go down to seafood, throw a crab in there, and then scarlet kale. So we need to go back to vegetables right here. Where is it? Should be at the bottom. Yep, scarlet kale. And then any fish, doesn't matter which one it is. So I'm just going to put something like some cod in here. Going to start cooking, and there we go. It is beautiful. Next recipe, we need to go back to the fish again. You are going to need another tiger fish right here. Throw him in there. We need scarlet kale again, so go back up to vegetables. And then mine's all the way down here at the bottom. 1 scarlet kale. We need a honey coral. Honey coral can actually be found in the sweet category. Throw one of those in there. And then any vegetable. I'm just going to throw some Brussels sprouts. So you put those together and you end up getting the friendly bento box. It's Winnie the Pooh and friends. Set up like a bento box. Probably one of my favorite dishes here. Okay, next is the scarlet kale and cheese pinwheels. For that, you just need some wheat. And then we're going to need some cheese. And then you're also going to need to go back to your vegetable category. And we're actually going to get that scarlet kale right here. Add those 3. And we ended up getting the scarlet kale and cheese pinwheels. They look pretty good. And now we need to make honey glazed carrots. For this one, we are going to need to go to our sweet category again. Throw 1 honey coral in there. We need 1 carrot. And then we're going to need some dill. So dill should be back up. I think it's in the spices actually. Yep, right here. So honey coral, carrot, dill, and we end up getting honey glazed carrots. Now we are going to make some honey pancakes. There's a lot of honey here. Anytime you see honey, you pretty much just need to go and get some honey coral. So we're going to put that in there. We also need, let's see, we need some wheat, and I think it was eggs. Yeah, there we go. Oh, I already made those. I already made those. Okay, I was about to say, I know I didn't mess that up. Now it's time for Horace's ham sandwich. For this one, we're going to need those pearly barley again. It's over here in like the oat category. So throw one of those in there. We need some cheese. So we're going to go down to the dairy section, and then any vegetable. You can just throw some Brussels sprouts in there again. And then ta-da, we have a interesting looking sandwich here, 3-star recipe. And then we need a jellied fish terrine. For this one, you just need that really weird, hazardous looking fish. So go over here, scroll all the way down, get your jellied fish. You can get this in Glamour Gulch, I believe in Gold Ripples. Throw him in there, hit start cooking, and you have this jelly roll. I love how green it is. Now we're not done with the jelly stuff. We're going to make a jellied salad. So for this one, you're going to need to get that little fishy again, the jellied fish. Throw him in there, and then you need some scarlet kale. So again, go back down to your vegetable, scroll down, get one of these blue looking things, throw them in there, and then now we have this a jellied salad. And then another one that's very interesting is the Kanine Krunchies cereal. This one is going to take some of that pearly barley, so over in the oat category, throw one of those in there. And then we need the pin cushion peach. So go down to your fruit and then just scroll down until you find it right here. Just these two. Go ahead and cook it up, and you literally have K9 Crunchies. I wish I could get more XP for feeding this to like my horses or something. Alrighty guys, now it's time to go ahead and make some Pixie Pizza. For this, you need to go back to your oat category, grab one of these little fairy commute things, throw that in there, just one of them, and then we're going to need some cheese. So grab some cheese, throw it in there as well. We need a tomato. So go down to your vegetable, find the tomato right here, throw him in there. And then we need fairy sprinkles. These are actually in the seasoning category. I honestly thought these would be in the the sweet category, but no. Put that in there, and then you also need one button mushroom. Make sure it actually lands in the pot. Mine did not. Throw them in there. Nope. All right, what if I just put it down here? Come on, just go in there. Thank you. All right, those 5 ingredients, and you got this Pixie Pizza. It actually looks really, it's like a really beautiful piece of food. I mean, I would eat that pizza as well. I'm not sure what would happen afterwards. All right, up next, we're going to make Stargazy Pie. For this, you are going to need a measuring tape snail, just one of them. The satin beta fish. Let's see, surely I have more of those. There we go. Put one of these little guys in here. The red alpine bass. He's right over here. Throw him in there. And then you just need 1 wheat. So 3 pretty rare fish are going in this thing. And you got the Stargazy Pie. Literally has stars on it. And we got just the fish head sticking out. And now it's time for the last entree. This one is going to take 5 ingredients. You are going to need to get a pin cushion fruit. So it's up here in the fruit. We're going to throw that in there. You need to go down to dairy. We're going to put some milk in here. And then pearly barley is right down here. Put one of those in there. Sugar cane, which will be in the sweet category. And then any type of fruit. Doesn't matter what it is. I'm just going to throw a banana in there. Once you cook that up, you ended up getting this massive vintage peach trifle. It looks pretty good, honestly. Now, guys, you're almost done. You are almost done, and we're starting off dessert strong with a Beauty and the Beets Napoleon. So this one is actually going to take some of those red currants. They are over here in the fruit category. You might have to scroll down to the bottom. Put that in there. And then we needed a beetroot. So I need to go down to my vegetables. Throw one of these in here. We also need butter and egg. So go to your dairy. Get some butter. Get some eggs. Throw the milk on the floor, of course. And then the last one we need is, never mind, pick the milk back up and throw it in the pot. There's the ingredients. We got the Beauty and the Beets. Next is the beet brownie stack. This one looks delicious. For this, you are going to need beets again. So go back down to your vegetable, throw one of those in there. Any sweets, doesn't matter what it is. You can throw cocoa bean in here if you want. And then you just need some eggs. Go ahead and grab those, put them in here. And then ta-da, we got the beet brownie stack. You may be tired of beets, but the game's not tired of beets because you are going to make a beet sugar sculpture. So for this, you need to go back down to your vegetable, throw the beet in there, and then you just need one sugar cane right here. Just 2-star dish for this one, and it's very beautiful. This is something you could honestly decorate with. Alrighty guys, the next one is the fairy boot cake. For this one, you actually need to come over here. We're going to grab one of these fairy Camus items, throw that in there, go down to your sweet category, and then you're going to put the honey coral in there. And we also need eggs and butter, of course. It is a dessert, so butter, throw some eggs in there. And then you need those like dark chocolate coffee beans. They're actually over here in the fruit category. Put that in there, hit start cooking, and this is what it looks like. And then it's time for some fairy bread. So using the same fairy item, go down to your oat category, just throw one of these in here. And then you just need some fairy sprinkles. I believe that was seasoning. Yeah, get some of the fairy sprinkles, throw them in there. Just those two, and you get the fairy bread. I already made this one as well, but I have not made the fairy wands before. So for this, we need the star like fruit. And for that, we need to go to fruit, and it's the bonsai star fruit. You get these on trays, I believe, over in Glamour Gulch. You need lollipop fruit. You are actually going to plant these. Let's see if they're actually over here in the fruit category. They are. Literally just a jumble of lollipops. Throw those in the pot. You get those from Goofy's stall, and then you'll go plant them. They're one of the later items that you end up getting. And then you just have to put any fruit. You can put anything. Let's just throw a lemon in there. Start cooking, and we have the fairy wands. Now the next dish is one of my favorite ones as well. Again, go back to oats. We're going to put the fairy Camus item in there. And then we need fairy sprinkles. Go down to seasoning. Put those in there. And then we need slushed ice. That'll be down here at the bottom. We just need one of those. And then we need one red currant. Again, it's up here at the fruit. Scroll down and then drop it in the pot. All 4 of those will create this pixie ice cream dome cake. I think this one looks really nice too. Definitely going to decorate with it. And we just have 3 more to go. You guys are almost done. You almost made it. For this, we need to go back to fruit. We're going to go to red currants, throw some of those in there. We need sugar cane and wheat. So we'll do wheat first. Let's go down to sweets. Throw some sugar cane in there. And then lastly, you just need some butter. So go down to dairy, drop the butter in there, start cooking. And we made the red currant Linzer cookies. These look pretty good as well. Now it's time for the red currant valley cake. So you may have guessed it, you are going to need more red currants. Thankfully, these are easy to get right there in the starter area. Drop those in there. And then you need milk and egg. That's it. Just eggs, milk, those 3 ingredients, and you're done. These ones look really nice too. Very vibrant, very bright. And then the last one is Tigger Tails. This is a really fun dish. For this one, you need to go back and get some lollipop fruit. So go to fruits, scroll down, throw these in here. And the last one is just fairy sprinkles. That's over in seasoning. Drop that in there. And we have the Tigger tails. Reminds me of the Cheshire Cat tails. This is just like Tigger's version of it. So that is it, guys. That is all of the dishes. So you guys should have all of those. Just to double check and make sure that you do, go over here to your meals. And as you see, I don't have the fizzy nectar soda because it's bugged right now, but I have all of the other appetizers. I have 19 out of 20 entrees, and that is because we are missing the button stew that is currently bugged. And then we have all 10 out of 10 desserts. And that's it. You guys don't have to worry about these. Anytime a villager wants something, you can just go. You already know the recipe. You can click on the actual recipe rather than manually putting these in here. So if you made it this far, I'm proud of you. If you guys would hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, I would appreciate you. But have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one.